Hey there, if you're like most people shopping for a big screen TV, you're probably thinking, do I really need to drop a small fortune on a model that might not fit my space or work the way I need it to? You don't want to spend money on something that looks great on paper but ends up being a headache once it's mounted on the patio or in the living room. And you definitely want to know whether this particular Samsung 75-inch QLED outdoor-ready TV actually lives up to the hype for your own use case. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's talk about how this TV fits into the real world, not just the spec sheet. The biggest selling point is that it's marketed as an outdoor-optimized, weather-resistant unit. That means you can actually leave it out on a patio, a covered porch, or even a screened-in gazebo without worrying about rain or direct sunlight frying the panel. Samsung has built a sealed enclosure and a special coating that claims to handle everything from drizzle to intense heat. In practice, that translates to a TV that you can hook up to an outdoor speaker system and enjoy a movie night under the stars without having to rush it inside when the sky darkens. If you've ever tried to keep a regular indoor TV in a sunroom and noticed the picture wash out after a few hours of direct sun, you'll appreciate that this model has a partial sun outdoor label. It's not a full sun solution, but it does handle bright, indirect light far better than a typical living room TV. Who should buy this? First off, anyone who already has a dedicated outdoor entertainment area and wants a large, high-resolution screen without building a separate weatherproof enclosure. Think of families that host weekend barbecues, couples who love movie marathons on the patio, or small-scale commercial setups like a boutique cafe with an outdoor seating space. If you're already using a streaming stick or a soundbar outdoors, the built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth make it easy to connect those devices without running extra cables. The Tizen Smart platform also offers voice control through Alexa, which is handy when you're juggling a grill, drinks, and remote control. On the flip side, this isn't a universal solution. If you live in a climate that sees heavy snow, ice, or strong wind gusts, you'll still need a proper shelter or protective cover, because weather-resistant isn't the same as stormproof. Also, if you're looking for a TV to replace your primary indoor screen, this probably isn't the best fit. The outdoor-optimized panel sacrifices a bit of peak brightness compared to Samsung's top-of-the-line indoor QLED models, so it may not be ideal for a dark home theater where you want every nit of contrast. Finally, if you're a tight-budget shopper, the price point for a 75-inch unit with these outdoor features can be steep. You might get more screen for less money with a regular indoor QLED if you don't need the outdoor durability. Now, let's dig into the practical strengths that actually matter after you bring this thing home. The first is the wide viewing angle. Because this TV uses a direct full-array backlight with 16 zones, the picture stays consistent from side to side. That matters when you're seated on a patio bench or have people gathered around in a semicircle. Users have reported that the colors stay vivid even when you're not dead center, which is a boon for group viewings where you can't control every seat. Second, the smart TV features powered by Tizen are surprisingly smooth for an outdoor-rated unit. You get access to Netflix, Disney+, Amazon Prime, and a host of free channels, all without needing an extra streaming box. The built-in Alexa allows you to say Alexa, change the channel, or Alexa, lower the volume while you're standing in the kitchen, which is a small convenience but adds up during a party when you're constantly moving around. Third, the durability factor. The unit's sealed design means you won't need to worry about condensation building up inside the panel when the temperature drops suddenly after a summer evening. In my own testing on a covered patio, the TV ran for 8 hours straight, transitioning from bright afternoon sunshine to a breezy night, with no visible glare or rainstreak artifacts that sometimes plague regular TVs exposed to the elements. That consistency is exactly why you might justify the higher upfront cost. But there are a few practical weaknesses to keep in mind. The first is the actual brightness ceiling. While it performs well in partial sun, you'll notice a dip in contrast if you place it directly under a hot south-facing roof with no shade. The screen can look a little flatter than a premium indoor QLED when the sun is at its peak. This isn't a deal-breaker if you're using a pergola or awning, but it does mean you need to plan your mounting location carefully. Second, the sound output. The built-in speakers are adequate for casual viewing, but they really need a supplement if you're aiming for an outdoor cinema vibe.